The long sought after peace in Rivers State, the hub of Nigeria's oil and gas industry, seems to have been ushered back in by recent reconciliation moves, which led to a cordial meeting between former Governor Disunity and his successor, and now suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Following that meeting, which had the imprint of President Bola Tinubu, both men made pronouncements which must have been a great source of encouragement for genuine lovers and friends of Rivers State. In spite of that thawing of ice, though, a big sense of apprehension keeps hanging like a black shadow over Rivers State, following the complications created by that state of emergency proclaimed in April this year by President Bola Tinubu. Well, joining us now to discuss the newfound peace in Rivers and what's being done to checkmate oil bunkering in the maritime domain is Ambassador Musa Saidu, who is Chairman Arewa South-South and Chairman of the Task Force on Pipeline Vandalism, Product Monitoring and Illegal Bunkering for Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning show this morning. My question to you will begin with...
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This newfound peace. First of all, do you agree that there is a sense of newfound peace in Rivers State? If at all, do you agree that peace at any point in time left Rivers State? You know, what's your assessment of the events that brought us to this very moment right now?
Thank you very much for having me. And let me say peace is necessary, because without peace, there will be no development. And though this issue shouldn't have even arisen based on those that are, are making peace now. We are coming from the same group, the same party. Though I would not say this, I don't know whether the same ideology. So the peace, is very important. Number one, for the security of lives and property in Rivers State, and for the security of people of Rivers State, and for the progress of the state. So for them to come together, to us is God. It is God that has answered our prayers. Let our leaders understand themselves, work together as they were working before, so that let there be peace and progress. And if you could remember, this peace started when Chief Magnus Abe and the former governor of Rivers State, Barrister Wike, who now is the FCT minister, come together to make peace. Now they are working together. It's a very good development. But let me tell you that as, when it happens, I mention it, I receive a lot of insult. I receive, especially from the Fubara boys, because them they don't want anything peace. Because, crisis is business. So for them, if you look at it, why that we came to this situation, this position that we are? This, as I said, these people are from the same group, the same people. Why are they quarreling? Why are they fighting? Because those that are serving them don't want to make, are the people, engineering this crisis. And we thank God that now that the governor has realized that his enemies are waiting inside his kitchen, and now he has gone to his boss. We like it or not, Wike is his boss. God destined him to be governor, and God made him governor through Wike. Nobody can take that from Wike. He has done that, and God has actualized it. So we are grateful to God for that.
All right, Ambassador Saidu, if I heard you correctly, and I'm sure that many Nigerians will be interested, your idea of peace is that an elected governor should go and submit himself to a godfather. That's your idea of peace, if I heard you correctly? That's the only way that the state can move forward from what you have submitted. Yeah. You may want to clarify.
No, yes. He didn't comprehend me well. Okay. What I said, harmonious relationship. For them, that we don't need godfathers. But what we need is that, cooperation and understanding.
Yeah, but you say Wike is his boss. That's the language that you use, sir. You say Wike is the governor's boss. You said so. That's what you said.
There is nobody that doesn't have a boss. There's nobody. Even the president, there's people that are respected, either traditional. Nobody that doesn't have a boss. A boss doesn't mean that you have a boss, you are a slave, or you must agree with person that anything that he did, he does. No. You know, everybody has a boss. I have a boss. Not that he's paying me salary or something, but the respect I have for him, the advice that he gives me that help me or what I'm doing, everybody has a boss. You too, you have a boss. Because a Bajina is your boss. Because he's the chairman, I think as you work on
yes, Ambassador Saidu.
He's the, I think, MD or the chairman of Arise.
He is the chairman of Arise. You know, the Duke is the chairman of Arise. However, you would agree with us that we are under a contractual agreement where we are staff of this great organization, Arise News. However, in the case of Governor Siminalayi Fubara, he is an elected governor. So when you try to make this comparison, are you now trying to say that in his case, he was hired by Nyesom Wike to serve the people as opposed to being democratically elected by the people? And just to also add, you speak about harmony. It's important for harmony, but what interrupted the harmony that was existing in Rivers State? Because from what you're saying, clearly, it was more about a disunity between Siminalayi Fubara and Nyesom Wike, as opposed to the security issues that were highlighted.
Thank you very much. You know, when I say, let me say even, the disunity that we have is between Fubara and the House of Assembly people, and those that work for them. So this unity is not only between Fubara and Wike. Wike is in Abuja. Fubara is here as a governor, executive governor, elected by the people of Rivers State. And the House of Assembly too, they are elected by Rivers people. So if they are not working harmoniously, don't say, you know, that is the democratic system. Then it's not this democratic system is not working, because we have only democracy only works when all the arms of government are working harmoniously. They are working together, you know, comprehensively for the interest of the people that elected them. But when one arm sideline another and there is disunity, then there is no democracy. Let us be realistic. We shouldn't deceive ourselves.
All right, Ambassador Saidu. All right, at the time that the issues got to a head around February, March, and April, did you sincerely think that the pipeline assets of Nigeria within the Rivers State domain would be a target? And what do you think has been achieved by the sole administrator in stabilizing the polity, after about 4 months that the governor has been suspended and we have a sole administrator? What has changed? And like I said earlier, were you fearful that things might go very bad, which of course led to the president declaring a state of emergency? If you recall, part of what the president said was that our national assets in terms of pipelines were endangered.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank the president. Let me thank the National House of Assembly. Let me thank the National Security Advisor for taking that bold move. Because the issue, what people don't understand, or what people are hearing, people are fed with lies. The state of emergency that is proclaimed Rivers State at that time, it is not a bad idea. It has been proclaimed to save lives. Like we, even Northerners that are here, incessant robbery, kidnapping, and not only pipeline something, and we are criminals or cultists are moving with police escort and siren in Rivers State. That one is totally unacceptable. So the sole administrator that has come to Rivers State, he has restored peace. He has pipeline vandalism, has been checkmated. He has cooperated with us to make sure that the pipeline vandalism and oil theft, is brought under control. the herdsmen and farmers issue, who has been a problem in Rivers State, which I've personally handled with the state security services, before the coming of FUBRA. But as soon as FUBRA came in, it was not accessible. And those that are close to him, like chief of staff, made it impossible for people to see him, made it impossible for people to advise him, and the thing has escalated to the position that there was killings, a protest by Ogoni youths to the government house, to the other security agencies seeking for peace, and seeking for peace. But the administrator quickly, set a committee led by SSG, to address these issues. That's, the SSG, the administrator, the military administrator has tried, number one, to restore peace. Number two, to look at these farmers assaulting crisis that the federal government refused to acknowledge, that generated to killings and protests by Rivers indigenes. So for me, the state of emergency, proclaimed Rivers State, was done to bring peace, to bring unity, and for the politicians to go back, and arrange themselves and unite, so that let there be peace. So the state of the administrator has done well, and is still doing well. He's doing his job, as he was asked to do, because we have seen changes during his coming. They like it or not, forget about those that are benefiting from the system, those that are talking lies because they are getting money, from the system, from the crisis. I'm just telling you the truth, nothing but the truth, because I cannot be governor here. Though, yes. Despite, thank you very much. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You were just about to make a very crucial point about the governor. Could you please just complete your thought on that, and then I will ask my question.
Yes. Governor must be accessible to people that will provide ideas. Not everybody that is coming to you to beg. Politicians look at them that anybody that comes or write later to see him is asking for money. So they will not see you. We have tried to see the governor, and point out, we wrote to him and point out where things are going wrong, because we have been in this state, we are old as this state, and we couldn't get to him. The chief of staff has blocked every avenue to see the governor. And he has the temerity to send people to tell us that this is the person that we will work with, or we will vote, or with Northerners that we will support before he will deal with us. That's the temerity that the chief of staff has. You understand? So for us, the state of emergency has cleared a lot of things. The presidency has acted timely, to save the situation, because the situation would have gone beyond what we are talking. Because don't forget that I was late chief of the senior SA. I was a national youth president. I participated in the struggle. I've been part of the struggle in Niger Delta to success.
Ambassador Musa,
that led to the creation of NDDC, amnesty, and all that.
Yes. From what I hear you speak about, I hear you talk about several experiences that you also personally had with the governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and Ipman as well, with regards to certain approvals and meetings you had wanted to have with him that, as you have just stated now, were met with a closed door, with him now trying to impose certain decisions. So the point I'm trying to make is, could you expand on that? Your thoughts on Siminalayi Fubara as governor of Rivers State, as an elected governor, how would you assess his leadership pattern and his style of communicating as well? Would you say he's a governor that listens, he's a governor that cares for his people based on your experience? Because of course, he will return to his seat post this suspension. But as we anticipate that, how would you assess him as a governor?
No, let me tell you, as I said, I've been in this state for a long time. I don't know Fubra as a violent man, though I don't know him much until he was drafted, to be the governor of the state. We like it or not, when he was drafted, as a governor, all the contestants were shot down. Then he was made the sole candidate. Or the most preferable candidate of the PDP, and before, at that time, we have good choices in this state. At least people would have allowed to make choices They were not allowed to do that. He was brought up, okay. You know, then he was elected as governor. And 2 days before his election, I spoke on the radio. I said he's not saying anything, he's not addressing anything. He has to tell people what he will do for them as governor. So then the Ijaw leadership came and met me with their youths that I have been close to them. I was late with that SA. I supported them during struggle. Please, we should make sure that we voted for him as the Ijaw son. And we did. Though, when this crisis started, we started having this problem, we made the Ijaw people too, they say then too, they have no access to him, as they told us. You know, so then who are we going to meet? We met the elders, they say then too, they have no access to him. So, you know, you cannot meet anybody. So my assessment to him is that, you know, as a governor, he must be accessible. As a governor, he must listen to the people that elected him, so that let him hear, not listen to only those that his kitchen cabinet that are not wishing him well, because they created this crisis that we are facing. We like it or not. The kitchen cabinet created the crisis that brought division in this state. So now, as he's coming back, at least he has learned something. You know, he will know where this roof is leaking. Then he make amendments. That's what I would say.
All right. 2 questions from me, Ambassador Saidu. First will be that now that you are sure that peace has been achieved, even though a lot of people might say that it's peace of the graveyard, but you're certain that we're making progress. Do you think that it should be right for the president to recall Governor Similaye Fubara now, or you think he should still serve out the 6 months in the first instance of a suspension? And then the second point will be, what will be your... okay, I wanted to ask the second question so that you can take the two together. The second part will be, what's your assessment of the progress being made in terms of curtailing illegal bunkering? You know that the budget for 2025 is premised on 2 million barrels per day. As at today, the progress that has been made is just 1.6 million from the initial 1.3 to 1.4 million per day. It's still a far cry at 1.6 million to the 2 million barrels that government is targeting in order to meet, you know, the projections for this year's budget. How have you fared in terms of curtailing, you know, this economic sabotage that we call illegal bunkering?
Thank you very much. You know, this question you pose is very important. There's something that people don't know about illegal bunkering. People thought that illegal bunkering is only the bunkering you see on the one that is done by trucks, or the one that you see people carry jerrycan. That's not the illegal bunkering. Let me give you. I was the first pioneer of anti-pipeline, you know, chairman. So that was 1999 when the elders of Niger Delta, led by Lechi Faro Dapabli, met Dr. Odele, the governor, and then they set a committee which they are headed. And in the course of our investigation, we found out that this bunkering is done by Lebanese and Indians. Well, the only thing they are doing, you know, they give small money to our boys, loading barges, while they have stationed a mother vessel at the high sea. You know, when the barge full from the creek, you go and discharge at a mother vessel. So, you know, we trace all that. Then it's done with the cooperation of the multinationals managers. You know, because at that time there's no breaking pipe. What they do, they go to wellhead, that is manifold, and open it. They fix with a pumping machine, they fix a hose, then load the barge. Then when the barge is full, 1,000 tons, then they sell it to the mother vessel until the mother vessel got pregnant. So we investigated that. Then, you know, we submit our report. And by the grace of God, that time we have minimized the bunkering, because we chased all the Lebanese from Port Harcourt. All of them were living at Arresta Estate, if you know Port Harcourt. We went there to get them arrested after they wanted us to compromise. And you know, they are not the only people doing it. You know, they are united to some of our security agencies, which I have highlighted that last time on my interview to you in Abuja with Charles. So Now we have discovered, the bunkers have changed tactics. Not the way that you knew it was going before, how it was going, but by grace of God, me and my team have made a very massive discovery how this bunkering is being loaded into vessels. I will not need to jeopardize investigation. With the help of the sole administrator, we attend that feat. And we have submitted our reports to all the high authorities. And we got that through the help of the administrator. Because at that time when February was there, it was not accessible. But the administrator is accessible. So we get through the administrator now, we have found out where the oil is being stolen. And Nigerians soon will know from the high authorities, which I will not mention, how the oil is being stolen and who is doing what. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights and your thoughts today, Ambassador Musa Saidu. Quite interesting to have you on the morning show this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.